You know, I grew up a very idyllic childhood, you know, watching my dad and my grandfather farm our small little farm and work endlessly night and day. And, you know, it never entered my mind that the family farm would never continue. You know, I thought, just like most folks do, that our family farm would be that family farm forever. But yet, while, you know, I grew up riding my horses in the fields and the pastures and showing cows and picking blackberries in the summertime, we watched as our neighbors, our friends, and our families lost their farms for a number of reasons. And these reasons, you know, development, the urban sprawl. And we watched them as they lost their farms and lost their livelihoods. And, you know, you never think that will happen to you. And thus began our long and arduous journey towards saving our family farm. It took 3 tries, much persistence, hand-wringing, phone calls, and tears. But finally, our easement for our farm was finally approved. They conserved 263 acres of our beautiful farm, including the 100 of the 110 original farmland acres that my grandfather bought in 1956. We could finally breathe. We could finally do what we needed to do. We finally had the security to just farm and provide food for everybody else and provide that financial stability for ourselves. And thankfully, the time that we were approved, the federal funds matched state funds. So we had a little bit of extra benefit that the federal government, of course, matched the state funds. Like Roland said, it was a cooperation between federal, state, nonprofits, businesses in the area that allowed our farm to stay viable. They also allowed my dad to purchase the remaining farm in its entirety from my grandfather, thus enabling my grandfather to retire, even though farmers really never retire. But it enabled my grandfather to go into a stage of retirement, and for my brother and my dad to actually achieve ownership of our farm. And you know, what I like to say, the most rewarding part of the easement, the best part, is that we, in our small community, since then, there have been significantly more easements just in western Rowan County that have been put into place. That over 5,000 to 6,000 acres that have been conserved just in our region. And what a significant contribution to our local farming community. What a way to know that farm, those 5,000 to 6,000 acres will be in farmland for perpetuity, will always be farmed, will never be subdivided, will never become houses, will never become urban areas. They will always be able to contribute to the food that is on our plates in front of us. And that is a huge, well, it's a huge relief. What I also like to say, what's my part in all this? Because my father, my grandfather, and my brother had the foresight to put our farm in a conservation easement, and because they decided to transition to organic production, my husband and I were able to purchase 96 acres of the conserved land from my dad. We purchased it about 6 months ago. And this is going to enable me and my growing family to farm and to continue our own legacy, my legacy, because that Hoffner blood is in me too. I'm a farmer just like my dad and my brother, and I am able to continue that legacy with my own son and share that legacy with my students that I teach every day, and to share with them our trials and tribulations and our opportunities, and hopefully be able to open more minds and get these young people who want to farm, who wish to farm, who just don't have the support, to let them know that this support is out there, that there are conservation easements, that there are organizations like CFSA, that there is help, and there is opportunity for these young people, because we all know that the average age of the American farmer is 58 years old. How are we going to change that? And I can't help but think that the conservation easements and these relationships with groups like that and groups like CFSA can't help but to increase our farming community and increase the viability of our farming community.